Good morning, today is the 12th of August 2024 and I'm going to go through my watch list today. Just turn my fan off. This will be my last one for a week or so because I'm just going to take some time off, enjoy the summer. So let's just start off with the ES and just quickly briefly look at today's news. No real news today. 2 o'clock we've got a monthly budget statement, so that gives it 2 out of 3, so you could see some market movement then. Hopefully I'm not trading at 2, hopefully I'll be done within the first 2 hours of the market opening. Okay, so levels today, pretty much like we had last week. I've added this break, let's just change that to a yellow, increase it a bit. So I've added this level here in, which I'm watching, which is 53.8750 for a break and retest off the pre-market high. So I'm looking for it to break out, come back and retest, and then I'm targeting this zone 54.20. 5400 psychological numbers, need to be a bit wary of that area as well. So if we are going to take the long, then we just need to be wary that we are coming into that psychological number. And you can see previously we held it, broke down, retested it, then lost it, and we haven't really been back up. I suppose we haven't really been back up to the 40. We weren't even that close to it anyway, but that area is just an area we're looking to break out of right now. So 4200, 5400 I meant, sorry, hasn't really been tested. Let's have a look, let's go back a bit. 400, I suppose we have previously held it. It was the ceiling, then became the floor. So just keep an eye on that area. I'm going to mark it up anyway as a area of interest. So if we are long, we just want to be wary of that coming up. But if we're long on a lower time frame, there should be plenty of room to get 3 or 5R out of it. That's really my long play for today. I'm watching for rejection up in this region. So we've got this area here. It used to be was the support. Now it's resistance. And so if we head back into 54.40 area, 54.36 down to 54.50. This area here, I'm looking for a rejection. Let's go on to the daily volume, just something to note. You can see as prices been increasing, volumes been decreasing, so potentially we are looking at a little bit of a pullback. And we've got this key area here, 54.40, we just talked about on the daily as well. Area of confluence there, held it there, and that's why I quite like this area for a rejection. 54.40 to 54.50, that area. So I've got my alert set just below, and that's where I'm looking for the rejection. Let's go back to the hourly. Which one it matches? 54.40. Yeah, that area there, exactly that. And one more thing on the daily as well, I've noticed, is that a few days ago we held the 200 moving average, so we're still technically in a, you could say probably in a monthly uptrend still, even though the daily has broken the uptrend. We are putting in a series of higher, lower lows, lower highs, and our next lower high potentially we could. That's the reason I quite like that area, 5400 to 54.50 for the rejection. And it also goes with the volume price analysis because we got declining price down there. One thing I just want to put in a trend line. So our current trend line, and we've got another trend line as well we can put in. That area there, probably like that. We can probably change that. So that's our trend line we're looking to break. If we break that, then we most likely lose it on the weekly or the monthly. You can see still looking pretty strong. If you look at the weekly, it paints a different picture. Look at this for the weekly. So we've got putting in a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, come in for the higher low, and look at that candle. It is that's a reversal candle, but big bottom tail, very bullish looking candle, and that's on the weekly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we get up into this region 54.50, to see whether we can hold it or reject it. And volume on the weekly, we had that big volume for the sell-off the previous week, and then we had pretty much high volume on that reversal candle. Well, I'm calling it a reversal candle, but just want to make you aware of that before we go into this week with a bit of a bias. And obviously this paints a slightly different picture, pretty bullish. We've got smaller range candles, like it's running out of steam a bit, and that's why I quite like the reversal up that area, but bear in mind the weekly's looking bullish. So it's back down to the hourly, just get some levels again. So watching 54.40 for the rejection, break and retest of pre-market high, which is around 53.80, 53.90 area, and we've got pre-market low. If we lose that area and we lose this trend line, which I've kept in place, the reason I've kept it in place is because we bounced once, then we broke through, and we came back and we tested it on that candle there. This candle over there, tested it. Then we broke through, we came back down, retested it, and we've just been trailing it. So I'm keeping it in place until it's not relevant anymore. But if we break down below pre-market low, come back up and retest that trend line, I'll be looking for a short as well. And if we lose yesterday's low, then I'll also be looking for a short round here as well. And we've got plenty of levels. I won't go through these levels, but these are areas to watch as well. We've got 5300, which is a psychological number, so that's the place where we may see a bit of a bounce. We've also got 5320, 5330, which is also a bounce, but I also talked about watching that for the rejection. Pre-market low is 5366 for the rejection. I don't really, maybe consider a bounce as well, but the break and retest short. And obviously key areas are these areas down here at 5200. And that's it really for ES. I'll quickly go over SPY. Very similar levels, so I'll be brief for SPY. Watching this area here, 537.50 area is a daily level, and it's the bottoms of these pivots, same as ES. I quite like that area, so into that area for a rejection. We've got this big zone really, so we can watch that area all the way up to 539, 540. So 537.50 to 540, so it's a big region to watch for the rejection. We are just below the 200 moving average, so we need to obviously break through that area and come back for the retest of pre-market high and look for a long. And then if we lose pre-market low, like an ES, watch for a short, and we can watch for a potential bounce at this area here, which is 528.81. SPX, couple key areas to watch. 5400 up here, this is where we're watching for the rejection on both ES and SPY. So we only want to be going short on ES or SPY if we are coming into that area. If we're above it, then it will act as support. And then 5300, this area here, so we need to get down below it, and then look for shorts. So break and retest of 5300. NQ, so we're right in that pivot over here from the 30th of July, so keep an eye on that. We've broken over this trend line, holding over it only in pre-market, so break and retest of pre-market high. If you look left, there's not a great deal of volume, so I quite like this area. We've had this area highlight for a while, and we've been holding it for a bit. We rejected it, broke through, we held it, and now we're above it. So I'm looking for a break and retest of pre-market high. If we lose pre-market low, not sure whether I like the reject. I think we probably need to use Friday's high for the reject. And then I like the rejection at 19,800, this area here. QQQ, 542.32 is the place to watch for rejection. We have a bit of a gap as well, so we could probably increase that to 555.77. So this region is the area I quite like for the rejection. Oh, it's a bit thick, that one, sorry about that. So this region here. However, we are coming into the 200 moving average, which is this purple line here. We rejected it there. We haven't quite touched it over here yet. So I really want to see it break out, come back down, and retest pre-market low for the move up. Otherwise, I'm watching for the rejection below pre-market low down that way. Crude oil. Okay, we've got this big area, we've been in a big uptrend. We've seen this a few times, inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then we had the break and the retest of this level again at 74.57, and we've just been going up ever since. Still don't know how I managed to make a loss on that on Friday, as it's only been going up, but still it's one of those things. Notice the decline in volume as the price is increasing, so potentially losing a bit of steam. And I do quite like this area here, this area of confluence, where we've got bottoms of pivots and tops of pivots all meet up. So 78.88 is a decent rejection area, so I'll be watching that with an alert. Let's put that in now. So I want to try and find a short up there, and then if we break down today, trying to find a decent area. It's not the best chart. The only place I can see is 76.33, potentially this area here as well at 77.41 for a bounce. Okay, gold. Look at that, we're holding this pattern. So we've got the trend line drawn there, trend line drawn here. We've been playing between this region, so the natural rejection area has got to be off of this trend line, maybe into these highs here at 52, 25.20. Also got a psychological number at 2500 there. You can see we kind of held that, we rejected that level a few times before we finally broke through and then lost it again. So probably 2500 rejection. Let's just add that level in. Otherwise, at the top of the trend line. Bounce wise, nothing really unless we get back down into this area here. So 24.45, that's the only bounce area. But this is looking good. Hopefully we can maybe catch a few longs down the bottom. If you look at the bigger picture, we're in an uptrend, and we're now just going sideways, kind of like a flag pattern, and we're breaking out of this flag pattern. So potentially I quite like long, so maybe if we pull back down into this region, I may look to potentially find a long gold swing. Otherwise I'll just play the day charts. RTY doing the opposite. It looks like it's putting in a bit of a flag, bear flag, so we sold off. Oh god, it sold off, and we're putting in this kind of pattern. Reduced volume as well, a bit like all the other charts we looked at, reducing volume on the pullback, potentially showing exhaustion. So I quite like the rejection around this top level, 21.11, potentially this region. We've got this pivot over here to the left as well. Let's just mark that up. So 21.13, 21.14 there for the rejection, and that will potentially meet up with this 200 moving average, which will be travelling down in that direction. So that's kind of a rejection area. Otherwise, a bounce area back down if we hit this point of control, which is 20.50, and you can see lots of volume to the left. Lots of activity down in this level as well, so I quite like the bounce down there. And then YM, which is the Dow Jones. Do quite like the breakout of pre-market high. It's got, no, not pre-market, yesterday's high. I want it to break out above that 200 moving average, come back and retest Friday's high for the long, and that is around 39,800. 39,800. Watch that area. Let's draw it in, and then bounce wise, this area confluence down here at 39,400, 39,350, and then finally Bitcoin. Be pushed up a little bit over the weekend, I believe. Oh no, Saturday. No, maybe not. We just sold off a little tiny bit. We're kind of holding this level. If we get back down into the 50,000, 51,000, it looks like a buy if you're looking for a bounce. Let's go to the daily because it's easy to read. Here we go. And I like the daily because we can see this lovely pattern, and we're still remaining bullish until we lose either this cup and handle pattern. This is the cup and this is the handle, and we're just playing down in this range. We want to see it break out, come back, retest, go long to break out of that area. That's why it looks like a bullish pattern. We're currently sitting around here, so about midway. I'm looking for some buys down here to top up a little bit of Bitcoin I've got, or the breakout above here to continue to trade. And that's it. Let's have a quick look at order flow on ES. So we'll get rid of that because I don't like the messiness. Get rid of that as well. And it's the daily. Let's go down to the hourly. So we're looking for a break and retest of 38.90, which is not too far where we are now. Basically these highs here. So let's just flick over to my order flow screen. So I'm looking for the break and retest basically of this area here, long. So in that area we're looking for lots of volume being absorbed, and then for the breakout, the break and retest long. Cumulative delta is a bit of a divergence at the moment. If you, I don't know, you could say you can draw that pattern like that and draw that pattern. They're both going in the same direction, but the last few minutes, if you go over since 8:30, we've got a downward price action, we've got upwards price action, delta candle action, so potentially out of reversal area, so may just keep an eye on that. Interesting to see this on the 30-minute. All these yellow lines are the large orders. Sorry, that's where the heaviest amount of volume is in each candle. That's the point of control. That's the volume profile, point of control. And when you see two in a row, that acts as a stronger area, so 53.84. If you're looking for a stop loss area, nothing at the moment. We need to break over that area. We can use that area as a stop potentially. Can't see anything significant other than we've got a little bit of a divergence going on right now, but it's still early days, still got 10 minutes before the market opens. Be interesting to see how it opens. Again, it's August, so the volume's not as good as it would be during when people are not on holiday. Okay, that's me done. Thank you for watching. I'll be back